Team here at Small Business Funding has been talking a lot lately about how, as brokers, we improve the odds of our clients to be approved for SBA loans. And really, I think it comes down to a couple of different reasons, but the top ones are just lender matchmaking, right? The most basic job of an SBA loan broker. So we know which banks across the country are favoring which industries at any given time. Some of these banks, for example, they have to have real estate involved in the deal to lend on it. Some don't. Some like different industries better than others. So you may think, the best move is going to your local bank or your local SBA lender, but actually there are banks that will lend across the country, nationwide, in an SBA capacity. Two would be, I think, just packaging up documents, right? So we know exactly what documents the SBA or the bank and the SBA are looking for. We know the best way to present them and the best story to tell, right? So it presents you as the borrower as an organized, professional, potential business owner or existing business owner, whatever the case may be, who is serious about getting a loan, and someone the bank can potentially rely on. The bank's always looking, from the time you submit the deal to the time you actually get funded. If you get funded, they are, whether they say it or not, they're reviewing your actions. They're trying to gauge whether or not you're trustworthy, and whether or not you're reliable in terms of paying the $1 million, $2 million, $3 million loan back they're about to lend you. So I think we definitely add a lot of value in that sense. I think the next one would be just negotiations, right? If you go directly to your bank or a bank with the SBA, an SBA banker, they will look at your file, and if they like it, they'll maybe offer you a term sheet, and they'll present it as, hey, this is, these are the terms, kind of take it or leave it. Those aren't necessarily the terms you have to live with, though. There is some negotiation to be had. We know because we do it every day. But if you're not in that world and you don't understand how it works, you may not know which questions to ask. You may not know which levers to pull. So I think that's how we greatly improve the odds and just the deal terms for most borrowers. And then, finally, I would say for those deals that aren't a slam dunk, sometimes there's a business you'd like to buy where the cash flow has some irregularities to it. Sometimes it's seasonal, or sometimes there's an issue with your credit, right? Sometimes there's a story or context that needs to be added around that, like I said, whether it's the cash flow or your personal credit or just the story of the business in general. We are very good at crafting that and knowing how to explain that to these different SBA lenders and banks. So if this is you, if you're a aspiring business owner looking to acquire a business with an SBA loan, or even if you're an existing business owner looking to acquire another business to expand or just working capital, feel free to reach out. We're at smallbusinessfunding.com, and at least happy to have an initial conversation and see if we can potentially help.